know how to use a cell phone to make phone calls?
Yes.
All right, these gadgets are just that easy. I'm going to show you how. Let me talk about the process we're going to use for the voting first. You'll be casting votes for each office and each candidate in turn, one at a time. Everyone votes for all offices. We'll be voting for office X, like second vice president first. You'll cast the votes for candidate A. Then you'll cast votes for candidate B. We'll get the results and then do it all again for the next office. Any write-in candidates are announced and voted for just like the nominated candidates. You don't have to figure out how to spell their name, write them on a ticket, anything like that. Don't turn it on until the business meeting. The power button is right here. That'll turn it on. Turn it off the same way. Press and hold that power button to turn it off. Casting votes is just like dialing your cell phone. Enter the votes using the numbers on the keypad. If you want to cast 123 votes, press 1, 2, 3, and send. The keypad screen will show received so that you know your vote has been received. If you put in a wrong number and did not hit send yet, you can fix it by using the delete key to backspace over, fix the number, and then hit send. If you hit send with the wrong number, put in the number you want and hit send. As long as voting is still open, for that candidate, you've got 1 minute to send the right number. Only your last vote will count. Unlike Chicago. Yeah, I'm from Chicago, I can say that. Undervoting is what happens when you vote less votes than you have available. Let's say you get 2 votes. That's one club. You only cast 1 vote, though, and you don't cast the other vote for either candidate. That's undervoting. That vote counts, the other one's wasted. It's okay, it's not good, at least that 1 vote did count. Overvoting, on the other hand, is a bit more complicated. When you overvote, you cast more votes than you have, and they're all voided out then for that race, for that contest.
Like negative marking.
So again, if you've got 2 votes, and you cast 2 votes for both candidates in a race, that's 4 votes you cast total. That's overvoting, and they're voided out. Overvotes are bad. If you don't want to vote for a candidate, just do nothing. Imagine if your keypad with 2 votes gets swapped with your district governor's keypad that's good for 232 votes. Bad things happen. You're only casting 2 votes on a keypad that's good for 232 votes. Massive undervoting, wasted votes. And the district governor is trying to cast 232 votes on a keypad that's only good for 2 votes. Massive overvoting. And they're voided out then. They do not cancel each other out. Those keypads are electronics, they're fragile. Leave them in your room until the business meeting. You don't need to carry it around with you. You won't need it any time between now and the business meeting. But do remember to bring it to the business meeting. Next door, you've got a ballot worksheet that lists what your votes are. And some of them will have proxies with directions. Those directions must be followed. You'll have clubs that told you to vote for candidate A, and you need to follow that. If you've got a district governor, if you're a district governor and you have all these votes, you might have something very complex, like in just one office, you might have 12 directed votes for candidate A, 6 directed votes for B, leaving 214 votes to your discretion, your choice, whatever you think is best. And repeat for each office. So you have to figure out what you're going to do in that 1 minute. So use that worksheet in advance so that you have the numbers to hit send during that 1 minute. The last page of the worksheet has the number of votes you can cast. Please make sure you know what that is, and your keypad number. Make sure you have the right keypad and the right number of votes at the business meeting. Some examples. Let's say you have 2 votes, just 1 club. You could cast 2 votes for A and none for B. You could cast 1 vote for candidate A, 1 for B, and split the vote. Or you could cast both votes for candidate B. That's great. No undervoting, no overvoting. You cast exactly 2 votes. A more complex example with the district governor having 232 votes. 12 votes for A because 12 are directed. But the district governor thinks B is the better candidate. There's 6 directed votes for B, plus the 214 discretionary votes. So 220 votes for B, 12 for A. Add those together, you get the 232 votes total. That's great. No undervoting, no overvoting. All is good in the world. At the business meeting, delegates will have designated seating. There'll be demonstration votes at the start. You'll get to vote by practicing who you think your favorite Disney character is. David and I will be walking around at the business meeting. If you're having problems with your keypad, raise your hand. We'll be right there. Keypads can be replaced if need be. At the end of the meeting, the keypads will be collected by volunteers at the door. Please make sure we get those keypads back. They do cost money, and we know who got which keypad. So if keypad 14 comes up missing, we will find you.
You won't be allowed to leave the country.
Sample vote, thought experiment. Do not try to actually vote. We're going to pick our favorite dessert. Do we like cake or ice cream? This is how it'll work. Announcement. Voting for cake is now open. Cast your votes for cake now. Put in the number of votes you want for cake and hit send. If you made a mistake, edit the new number. Put the new number in and hit send. There'll be a countdown timer. There'll be verbal announcements. You will know when that minute is drawing to an end. Voting for cake is now closed. Now we do the same for ice cream. Voting for ice cream is now open. If you're voting for ice cream, put in the number of votes. Now, if you cast all your votes for cake, what are you going to do now?
Nothing.
Nothing. Exactly. You'll have a timer. You'll know when it's about to end. Time's up. Voting for ice cream is now closed. And thanks to the miracle of technology, in a minute, we have answers. You guys like ice cream. And best of all, we've got 0 invalid votes. That's the overvotes. And if we get too many invalid votes, they're going to send David and I home on a rowboat. Any questions?
You guys are doing a good job.
All right. Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you.